Greetings, welcome. Oh. No. Greetings, welcome to NASCAR America Debrief, which is an overtime here on Motor Mouth.
Man, we've started strong here. We've started strong.
Nate Ryan, Landon Castle, Marty Snyder, Kyle Petty. We're taking your phone calls left over from NASCAR America Motor Mouths. Also taking your questions, comments here on the YouTube chat box. You're watching us on the NBC Motorsports YouTube channel, so I'm monitoring that box. Whatever questions, comments you have there. And we're going to start on the phones, though, with Ron. Ron, welcome to NASCAR America Debrief.
Yes, hi. I'm wondering, I know most of the drivers, if not all, have their special little lucky charms that they have. Does the Throwback paint scheme have any influence on the drivers or the outcome?
Could ask our driver, does your Throwback paint scheme have any influence on you?
Like maybe if you had a David Larson paint scheme and like might add half a tenth, you know, you never know.
might add a little more focus or inspiration. I could see some drivers maybe racing with a little more anger for their paint scheme, I guess.
Why not, right?
I don't see why not. Give me a black car.
I mean, if you're representing Kyle Petty.
I mean, I can tell you this: if you put me in a black number 3, I'd probably drive.
That's exactly right. That's the point.
That's a great point. There you go.
Great point.
Yeah.
Good point.
I don't know if Coors Light will add a few tenths to your times this weekend.
Might slow them down.
If there's a red flag, it's going to be hard for me not get out and pull on a fender.
Yeah, and according,
that's good.
And according to his owner, a Coors Light will not hurt anything.
That's right.
That's right. Let's stay on the phones and go to TJ. TJ, welcome to NASCAR America Debrief.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good, man.
Yeah, what's going on?
Guys, first off, I'm excited for Darlington. And now, my question is, considering the playoffs are coming up, do you think, out of all the drivers in the garage, who do you think would most likely be growing the playoff beard? I mean, it's easy to say Blaney, but I think Kyle Busch would keep that beard going into the playoffs. Well, I want to know what you guys think.
Kyle does an off-season beard, and it's not the best.
Who would grow a playoff beard?
I know.
I like that.
I like TJ's suggestion of Blaney, but I feel like the Penske part
I
of
don't
the
think that
equation
would
kind of
go.
rules that out. Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle does do the one in the offseason. You know who would do a really good playoff beard would be Menard. He would have a great
he's 70
beard.
points out of the playoffs right now.
No, I
we need a win.
understand that.
We need a win out of Menard.
He can still do it in the playoffs.
But you know what? We've seen Menard with a beard, and we've seen a lot of these guys. Let's see Hamlin with a beard.
Yeah. Hey, Lord Byron.
Let's see Hamlin. Oh, Lord Byron can. Lord Byron
House demands that William Byron grows a beard.
Lord Byron cannot grow a beard. Lord Byron cannot.
He's going to start now and have it ready for the 2020 playoffs.
Does he have a beard?
I think he's had some face.
Yeah, he has been.
But it's like the rough, but it's not the beard.
He's got some scruff.
It's like scruff.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a difference. What do you consider a beard?
Oh, I bet you.
Give me the definition of it.
Yeah, Truex. But
Truex could probably grow
to Kyle's point, we've seen Truex with a beard.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I wonder what Logano would look like with a beard.
He'd probably look a lot like me with a beard.
Yeah.
Patchy and stringy and not good. Not good.
Have you tried?
I can't say that I've tried to grow a beard. I've just gone shave. Listen, I shave once a week whether I need it or not. Okay? That's my plan.
Have you noticed the sense of style for like baseball players and all these people are like the scruff and all that stuff, that there's no Gillette Young Guns and anything anymore. Gillette has abandoned the sports market.
Yeah,
yes.
well,
just thought I'd throw that.
Could be other issues entirely there. Let's go to YouTube for a question from Dylan Malone. He's got a really good one, actually. So we know this weekend's all about celebration of history, tradition, heritage, NASCAR Hall of Fame. There'll be a lot of NASCAR Hall of Famers there this weekend, including the Bonnies and I'm sure several others. Dylan Malone wants to know, with all the love given the drivers, owners, crew chiefs, do you think we'll ever see an over-the-wall guy like a tire changer make it to the NASCAR Hall of Fame?
Ooh.
I think so.
Yeah.
No.
No?
No.
What happened?
No. And it's a shame, but I don't think, and if we go, Leonard Wood, Dale Inman, those guys were over-the-wall guys.
Yeah, tire changers.
You know what I mean? Sure. They were tire changers in their day because that's what the sport was. But as we go today, and we look at the athletes that come in, there's a rotation in those guys too. Yeah. There's a rotation of, and it's not a 20-year rotation like a driver can be. It's more of an 8 or 10-year rotation. And then they begin to go to different teams and stuff. So I just don't think that there's a tire changer that changes the sport.
The valuable people, they make their impact on the team. And there are guys that come in even as ex-athletes and work their way through the pit crew system into the into other parts of the organizations. I do wonder, we have other awards within the Hall of Fame for media
Which should be
members and other
recognized.
people.
Exactly.
I'm curious, what kind of award would you make for crew member? And that it could be car
That's a
chiefs,
great
it could
point.
be engineers.
Yeah.
There could be an award that really gets them.
We hit on something.
You're the pit reporter at the desk, so you know those guys.
Well, I think there
for
certainly
years.
have been
I mean,
stars, and there's guys who are stars on pit road. But,
Okay.
But to Kyle's point,
Then
in terms of tire changes, I'm saying, but to Kyle's point, like their window is so short anymore. You know, you could be a star tire changer for 3 years, and then
It feels like we know their names less now than we did. Like I can remember 20 years ago, I could feel like I could name more.
Yeah,
guys.
that's right. We know their names less when they put their name on their back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We knew that we knew more of them before they had their names emblazoned across their backs because we knew who the good guys were. But I will change after listening to what you have to say. I think there should be a place for them. They won't get in like the group. I don't think you'll have those votings. But should there be a place for them? Yes, there should be. I do agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, you take not to totally ramble on it, but like you take a guy like Ron Malik.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, he deserves a place in the Hall of Fame.
Longtime car chief for the 48.
Some sort of shrine or some sort of, an exhibit.
Yeah.
Because not only did he add value to the team, there's a lot of history in artifacts in what he did.
Well, why don't we just change it from the Hall of Fame to the Hall of Participation?
There you go.
I knew it was coming at some point. I didn't know when that was coming. I knew it was coming.
I'm sorry. Everybody gets a ribbon. You get a ribbon. You get a ribbon.
Angle of this discussion is near and dear to Kyle's heart. Let's go back to the phones and talk to Gene in North Carolina. Gene, welcome to NASCAR America Debrief.
You, Kyle.
I'm sorry.
I have a question for Kyle. I have a question for Kyle Petty. You said that you like Kyle Larson because of his jazzy haircut. I happen to like Kyle Larson too. What do you think his chances are this weekend?
Slim to none.
Oh, come on.
I'm kidding.
He's dominated the last two seasons.
I can't. Okay, of all the racetracks we run, this is a racetrack that fits his style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is. You've got to move around. You've got to find a groove. You get up next to the wall. You've got to adjust. It's that 50-lap sprint car mentality. It's just a longer race. You know what I mean? And it's hard to keep that focus, as you know, and everybody that's ever driven there, and stay on top of the car and stay on top of the track. And they've not really shown anything this year that says that they're ready to step up at Darlington. But Darlington is a place that team can step up, I do believe.
They have dominated the last two, I'll say, Southern 400s.
That's right.
They got to get the last 100-mile part down. I mean, they've been the dominant car the last 2 years.
Yeah.
They just cannot finish the race.
I think he
That's
led
the big thing.
260 of
200
367 laps last year,
wearing
and had it all the way to the final pit stop, and then Keselowski got him on the last pit stop. And I don't know. I'd like your take on this, Landon. I mean, Kyle's right. I mean, that track certainly has suited his style in the past with the high line, but does the package affect that at all with the horsepower?
I mean, I think that in a lot of ways, Darlington is still going to race. The reasons that Kyle Larson is good at Darlington and can lead 2/3 of this race aren't going to change no matter what package you have in the car. I think that the reasons that Kyle Larson can't win at Darlington or hasn't won yet at Darlington, those reasons are going to stand on Sunday night. If he can, Kyle is so good at putting the car in unusual positions to make it go fast, right?
Yeah. Right.
But the reality is, it's got to be fast in the regular spots too. He's got to be able to go out on new tires, run the bottom, and be fast. You can't just be fast on 50-lap tires when you're rim riding.
Yeah.
A, he hits the wall 90% of the time, and B, the odds of the race finishing on an end of 100, run where he's going to have those tires are so slim that he's got to be able to be good on those 20-lap runs with new tires and running the bottom, driving that normal line.
And I can't imagine how tough it is to keep that close to the wall for 4 straight hours.
Right.
I mean, it's got to be, and if you
tough.
touch the wall, it changes your car completely.
This is where I evaluate the risk versus reward in that. Is it the reward of running that type of line is a tenth or a couple tenths a lap for 20% of 20% of the race, right? Because you take the first 50 laps of the race, you take the first 20 laps off every restart, you take the all those times. Now you're only looking at the end of these 3 or 4 long runs that happen during the race that he can run that line. The risk is if you hit the wall one time during one of those runs, it kills you for the whole race.
Right.
For all of those restarts, for all racing in traffic. So that's like those are the reasons that when Kyle Larson just puts such a spectacular performance on, and then all of a sudden you don't see him anymore. Yeah. He's running 7th on a restart. Yeah. You look at the right side of his car; it's got damage on it. Yeah. That's what causes
good stuff.
You got to bring that up in the pre.
That was good stuff. That was good stuff. That was really good stuff.
We'll stay on the phones and talk to Bob. Bob from Sarasota, Florida. Welcome to NASCAR America Debrief.
Thank you. For Kyle, real quick, what's your best story about Tim Richmond, and how did your mom feel about you racing?
Your best story. We want to hear the best one.
I can't give you my best story.
Dang it! I wanted the best one.
Okay, we're on YouTube now.
The best story
it doesn't make any difference.
He asked for the best one. Give him the best.
This stuff lives forever once it's out there.
Yeah, don't do it, Kyle.
My mother wanted me to be a pharmacist. I will tell you that. I know with a ponytail I look like a drug dealer, but she wanted me to be a pharmacist. I just thought I'd throw that out too. I think I would have been. I don't have a good Tim Richmond story that I can tell. I will say this, and I've said it before. I've been I was very fortunate to grow up in this sport and to watch people come along. I don't think there's been anybody that's rivaled his talent, raw talent, just raw talent, and then had the charisma to match that raw talent. And I think sometimes people just come along and they're ahead of their time, and he was just ahead of his time in this sport by a long stretch.
And honoring him in this race will be Alex Bowman, is running the Folgers car paint scheme, which I think we have a photo of here. And you mentioned that free-spiritedness. Alex Bowman actually put out a tweet not too long ago tonight that shows that he's going to be embracing
that is awesome.
the Tim Richmond spirit and going full Hollywood.
There's no way the second most vanilla man in the world.
You're not buying this?
No, I'm not buying that at all.
Authentic.
That's a pretty good one.
I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that.
A+ on the effort out.
You need to go tell Alex Bowman the real Tim Richmond story.
I'll tell him the Tim. Yeah, okay. Yes. Okay. I'm off. See you guys.
We'll stay on the phones and talk to Bill. Bill, welcome to NASCAR America Debrief.
Hello.
Gotcha.
Hi, Bill.
Hello, Bill.
My question is about Dale Earnhardt Jr. coming and running the Xfinity race. Will he ever run a Cup race, do you think?
I would say not. That would be my bet. I think he's going to keep it to Xfinity Series races. But we're glad to see him back at the racetrack, and I know he's excited to be there this weekend.
He's looking forward to it.
Yeah.
What did he joke on our conference call the other day? He said, I went and tested Darlington and realized I'm not as good as I used to be. But it's going to be fun. I mean, listen, it's a short Xfinity Series race this weekend. Yeah. 200 miles goes fast at Darlington. Seems like 500 miles takes forever, but that's a quick race. So he's going to have his hands full, I would say.
Yep. I'm excited to see him.
It's going to be awesome.
Happy to be back.
That paint scheme is cool, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Dale's always good for feedback and one-liners.
Yeah.
And he's fun to listen to on the radio. I was looking through notes one time when I was at Hendrick, and I was looking through his feedback, and I was reading the transcription of the engineer who transcribed his feedback on the radio, and the run went out, and he only made one lap of practice, and what the transcription said, expletive, loose. I'm not 22 anymore. Expletive.
That should be a T-shirt.
That
should be a T-shirt, man.
One of the best bits of feedback I've ever seen.
Well, he did do pretty well at the Richmond Xfinity race that he ran last year. Nearly won it.
And listen, I think at the end of the day, he'll be top 10 at Darlington this weekend too.
Yeah, his cars are good.
Car will be good enough, no doubt about it.
So we've got just a couple more on YouTube. James wants to know, I don't know if you guys discussed this on Motor Mouse. Does everybody have a favorite paint scheme from the throwback era?
We discussed it a little bit. I had the Wood Brothers.
Okay.
Landon went with the
Ty Dillon
car a couple years ago. And Kyle picked the moment when the King got black flagged.
Yeah.
You know who else always has good cars though? Are the Corvette parts. The 32. They always have good cars.
32.
Yeah. So they got the Snoopy. Do they have a Snoopy car this year, or is it?
That's who it is. That's who's running the Mystery Machine, I think, this year.
Who?
Oh, that
32 team.
I think that's at Martinsville. I think Corey LaJoie's running a Dale Jarrett, the Nestle Crunch.
Nestle
Crunch car.
So they're running the Scooby-Doo car at
Martinsville. I think.
That's right. There you go. The Mystery Machine showing up in Martinsville.
I can't wait.
Per your request.
Take my Scooby.
I don't think they want it to smoke all day long, like you said.
Yeah. I'm just saying, that's the van does, man.
We have one more from YouTube. Cameron wants to know, so last year, this was the stretch where Keselowski won Darlington, won Indy, went in the playoffs on a hot streak. Anybody else that you guys see right now, a driver you think might be getting hot here? Obviously, Ham is probably the hottest driver in Cup, just won Bristol.
But I would say to that thing last year, Brad didn't have the best car in any of those.
Kind of stole those wins.
All in Vegas, including the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, and listen, they strung it together, and Paul's probably one of the best at strategy in the garage area, and he put himself in a position to win the race 3 times in a row, and they did it. So I just don't see.
I don't see anybody.
I don't see anybody doing it this year.
Yeah, I don't see anybody. I don't see a team that has stepped up consistently to be that hot. There's streaks, and we're talking about somebody starting a streak. But you're right. If you go back to last year, those were 3 strategy races, and we all said it at the same time. You can win races that way, but you're not going to win a championship because they're not going to allow you to strategize your way race after race after race after race into the chase. You got to outrun somebody at some time, and he didn't when it came time to outrun people.
The 4 team has found a little speed.
Yeah,
this last
they have
month,
found
so,
some speed.
You know, I mean, they went. How long did they go without a win? And now he's got 2
in the last 6 weeks.
Finally got the car straightened up and where Rodney wants them, and I think they feel good. I think the 11 team certainly a candidate to do that as well.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be keeping an eye on all of that this Sunday at Darlington Raceway, Southern 500. That's going to wrap it up here. Thanks for all the comments, questions, phone calls, and thanks for watching NASCAR America Debrief.